episode. And today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Today we don't have a set topic for the video. Instead, we have a bunch of random facts about literally anything and everything that I've put together. And I think this could turn into a series of videos. So, without further ado, it's time to lay back, relax, and let yourself drift away as I whisper random facts about literally anything. In 2006, a Coca-Cola employee offered to sell Coca-Cola secrets to Pepsi. Pepsi responded by notifying Coca-Cola. That was good of Pepsi, you have to say. I think there would be a lot of companies who wouldn't notify a rival in such circumstances. So yeah, respect to Pepsi, and I hope that employee was fired. I actually really like Pepsi in terms of the taste. I haven't had it in a long time, but I don't think there's a whole lot of difference in terms of taste between Pepsi and Coke, but I'm sure plenty of people would disagree with me. Brown eyes are blue underneath, and you can actually get a surgery to turn brown eyes blue. It's common knowledge that the colour red makes bulls angry, which is actually untrue, as bulls are in fact colourblind. Yeah, I think I've heard this fact somewhere before. Perhaps the bulls just feel provoked, and that's the reason why they charge, or that they are attracted to the movement rather than the colour seems the more logical reason. I've actually seen a video on YouTube when some guys intentionally go into a bull ring and the bull attacks them and they really get torn up. I'm surprised nobody was killed actually. One of the guys got through about and his head was really cut open. There's another video that comes to mind in which a bull leaps into the crowd at some sort of event, and there is complete panic in the crowd. The people are just running all directions trying to get out of the path of this bull. It would be absolutely terrifying. Almost a third of the world's languages are spoken only in Africa. There is a town in Nebraska, USA, called Monowi, with a population of 1. The only resident is a woman who is the mayor, bartender, and librarian. I'm sure she gets pretty lonely in that town. You can see why it was named Monowi. Mono meaning 1. There really are some unusual facts out there for sure, and this is another one. A spider's web is not a home, but rather a trap for its food. They are as individual as snowflakes, with no two ever being the same. Some tropical spiders have built webs over 18 feet across. If you cut down a cactus in Arizona, you would be jailed for up to 25 years. It is similar to cutting down a protected tree species. The world's youngest parents were 8 and 9 and lived in China in 1910. Whoa, seriously? 8 and 9 years old? I'm not sure how that is possible. They must early, or maybe had some sort of condition that caused early development, but that seems pretty strange, I have to say. Over 25 years ago, a cargo ship traveling from Hong Kong to the United States accidentally lost a shipping crate in the Pacific Ocean. Inside that crate were 28,000 rubber ducks, unwittingly about to embark on many long journeys across the globe. As rubber ducks continue to pop up on shores from Australia to Alaska, they've enlightened our understanding of ocean currents. Some have made it all the way to the Atlantic Ocean, while others have been found frozen in Arctic ice. Oh wow, I love this fact. That's so fascinating. I had a rubber duck when I was a kid that I loved, and who always shared the bath with me at bath time. I called him Daffy, which I know is really unimaginative, but I was only a little kid at the time, and I loved Daffy Duck cartoons. But that is a really cool fact that these rubber ducks turned up all over the world due to the different ocean currents. I love that fact. That's my favourite one so far. The number 40 is the only number whose letters are in alphabetical order. The first movie ever to put out a motion picture soundtrack was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in 1937. Possums have one of the shortest pregnancies at 16 days. The shortest human pregnancy to produce a healthy baby was 22 weeks and 6 days. The baby was the length of a ballpoint pen. Oh my goodness, 22 weeks, almost 23. Let's see now, 4 weeks in a month, let's say, so that's just under 6 months, I believe. I'm surprised the baby survived being born that prematurely. Over 3 months early, in fact, on average. That's a pretty amazing fact, really. The cute furry bits inside a cat's ear are called ear furnishings. They ensure that dirt doesn't go inside their ears and also aids them in hearing better. Oh, I love cats, so that's a really cool fact to learn. I've always wondered what those little furry part is actually called, so there we go, it is actually called the ear furnishings. New Zealand will deny people residency visas if they have too high of a BMI, and there are cases where people have been rejected because of their weight. The country of Iceland does not have a railway system. I wonder, is that because of the climate? Is it too cold to have trains running on the tracks? Do the tracks perhaps freeze over? Be quite fascinated to find that out, actually. Crying makes you feel better, reduces stress, and may help to keep the body healthy. Yeah, I have noticed before that you do actually feel better after you have a good cry if something is bothering you, so yeah, that's quite an interesting fact there as well. Swedish meatballs originated from a recipe King Charles XII brought back from Turkey in the early 1800s. cheese before a picture is taken, because the word leaves us with a big smile on our faces. But if people of the Victorian era were to see our happy expressions, they'd be none too pleased. There was a time when smiling in photos was considered undignified and reserved for the poor and the drunk. To retain a more serious look in their photos, they would say the word prunes, a word so dull the chances of it inciting a smile were slim to none. They sound like a fun bunch of people back in the Victorian era, I have to say. There is a company in Japan that has schools that teach you how to be funny. The first one opened in 1982. About 1,000 students take the course each year. When howling together, no two wolves will howl on the same note. Instead, they harmonize to create the illusion that there are more of them than there actually are. Researchers have found that flossing your teeth can help your memory. Flossing prevents gum disease, which prevents stiff blood vessels, which cause memory issues. Your nose can remember 50,000 different scents. Wow, as many as that. That is really cool. 50,000 is a huge number, but our senses really are a remarkable thing. The things that we can see, smell, and hear, etc. The original Star Wars premiered on just 32 screens across the US in 1977. This was to produce buzz as the release widened to more theaters. Your brain consumes 25 watts of power while you're awake. This amount of energy is enough to illuminate a light bulb. The Netherlands has enjoyed a steady drop in crime since 2004 and has become so safe that it's closed down one jail after another. 23 prisons shut their doors since 2014 to help mitigate the job losses that this has created. The country has taken to importing prisoners from other countries, bringing 242 inmates from Norway in 2015. I'll have to remember this fact if I ever want to move away from where I currently live. The Netherlands seems like an ideal location based on this fact. Plus, it's relatively flat, which is another plus. If you don't like hills, that is. Yeah, I've never actually been to the Netherlands, but it's definitely a country on my to-do list. The famous line in Titanic surfaces. Although, in thinking about it, does that mean that they don't employ heavy women? I mean, I'm a slender guy myself. There are many women who are heavier than me, so I don't know. It's a funny one for sure. But thankfully, I'm never going to travel with this airline or ever have to really think about it. Fruit stickers are edible, though the same as any fruit, washing prior to eating is recommended. The glue used for them is regulated by the FDA. I would never have guessed that at all, that they were edible. I've never attempted to eat a fruit sticker, and I don't think I ever will, but it's good to know that they're edible, I guess. At room temperature, the average air molecule travels at the speed of a rifle bullet. 65% of autistic kids are left-handed, and only 10% of people in general are left-handed. The most common color for highlighters is yellow, because it doesn't leave a shadow on the page when photocopied. Astronaut is a compound word derived from the two ancient Greek words astro, meaning star, and naut, meaning sailor. So astronaut literally means star sailor. The Bermuda Triangle has as many ship and plane disappearances as any other region of the ocean. Yeah, it's a really fascinating place, the Bermuda Triangle. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I plan to do a facts video on it at some point in the future, so I'm looking forward to learning all about it, and hopefully you guys will as well. People who post their fitness routine on Facebook are more likely to have psychological problems. Oh, this is a real pet peeve of mine. People who post everything to Facebook or some sort of social media platform, including pictures of their dinner and updates on when they have gone into bed, things like that. I'm just not a fan of it, but each to their own, I guess. If they enjoy it, they should do it, but it's just not something I would ever do. I rarely post updates on Facebook. I mostly use it for chatting to friends, I think. Fish that live more than 800 meters below the ocean surface don't have eyes. The flashes of colored light you see when you rub your eyes are called phosphenes. Yeah, I know what this is referring to. Have you ever gotten too close to a TV screen and then you see a flashing light in the corner of your eyes for maybe 30 seconds to a minute? It's an odd sensation. I usually close my eyes when it happens and just wait for it to stop. It's been a while though. It used to happen more with older TV screens. I can't recall it happening with the newer flat screen TVs, so I'm not sure if the older screens had anything to do with it happening. But yeah, that's quite a cool fact. Wearing headphones for just an hour will increase the bacteria in your ear by 700 times. 700 times, that is amazing. Dolphins recognize and admire themselves in mirrors. Yeah, dolphins are really intelligent, so that fact doesn't really surprise me. Forrest Fenn, an art dealer and author, hid a treasure chest in the Rocky Mountains worth over $1 million. It still has not been found. Caterpillars have about 4,000 muscles. Elvis was originally blonde. He started coloring his hair black for an edgier look. Sometimes he would touch it up himself using shoe polish. When I was putting together a recent facts video for Home Alone, I saw a fact that he appeared in the movie as a passenger at the airport when Kevin's mum is trying to get a flight home. It really didn't look like him to me, but it's just funny that there's a conspiracy theory that he didn't actually die, and instead he faked his own death in order to retire from the limelight. I would be very surprised if it was true, but who am I to say if it is or not? It's really an interesting theory though. I'd love if it was actually true. Maybe we'll delve into it deeper one day in an Elvis Facts video. More people are afraid of spiders than death. Amazingly, few people are afraid of champagne corks, even though you're more likely to be killed by one than by a spider. In 2009, Stephen Hawking held a reception for time travelers, but didn't publicize it until after. This way, only those who could time travel would be able to attend. Nobody else attended. Time travel is something I'm fascinated by. I love time travel movies and stories. Just everything to do with it, I think, is really fascinating. It is impossible to lick your own elbow. I think we all knew this fact, but don't go trying it if you're in company or you're in public, as you will look incredibly silly. The Lego Group is the world's most powerful brand. There are more Lego minifigures than there are people on Earth. On average, 100 people choke to death on ballpoint pens every year. The Roman-Persian Wars are the longest in history, lasting over 680 years. They began in 54 BC and ended in 628 AD. By raising your legs slowly and lying on your back, you cannot sink into quicksand. Yeah, that's a cool fact. There's a Bear Grylls video on YouTube that I've seen about how to escape quicksand, and he actually gets into it to demonstrate, so it's good to know if you're ever in that situation, which I hope none of us ever find ourselves. An Italian banker, Gilberto Bastiera, is considered a modern-day Robin Hood. Over the course of 7 years, he secretly diverted €1 million to poor clients from the wealthy ones, so they could qualify for loans. He made no profit and avoided impossible to sneeze with your eyes open. Supposedly this is because your eyes would pop out of your head due to the force. Just as well, it's a natural reaction for us to close our eyes as we sneeze, or there'd probably be eyes rolling about all over the place. The largest Japanese population outside of Japan stands at 1.6 million people who live in Brazil. The name funny bone comes from the humerus bone, which connects the shoulder to the elbow. However, that's not the source of the tingling sensation you feel when you bump your elbow just right. It's actually the result of the humerus bone coming into contact with the ulnar nerve. Yeah, it's always really painful when you bang your elbow and you feel that sensation ripple up your arm. And it's also really ironic, of course, that it's called a funny bone when it's anything but funny. Mercury and Venus are the only two planets in our solar system that do not have any moons. Scotland was one of the few countries able to hold off being conquered by the Romans in the 1st century AD. The foil seals on the top of medicine bottles were put in place after a rash of poisonings occurred in 1982, in which 7 people in the Chicago area were killed after ingesting Tylenol laced with potassium cyanide. Opposites attract is a common myth. People are actually attracted to people who look like family members or those with a similar personality type. This is one that I have always wondered about or been confused about. To me, it's logical for people who have similar interests to be attracted. Water bottle expiry dates are for the bottles, not the water. After a while, the plastic will start leaching into the liquid. I'm going to have to keep this one in mind as I primarily drink water out of a bottle, and I can reuse the same bottle for some time, so I'll have to make sure to change them more often after reading this fact. Cruise ships have morgues that can store up to 10 bodies at once. The average amount of people that die on cruise ships per year is 200. A man jumped off San Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge, but survived despite breaking his back. While it seemed he would not be long for this world, a sea lion came to the rescue, swimming beneath him and keeping him afloat until the Coast Guard arrived. And finally, only 2% of Earth's population naturally has green eyes. That's quite a surprising fact to finish. Only 2% have green eyes. I wonder what the most popular eye color is. I feel it's probably brown. I have blue eyes myself, but I think brown is probably the most popular color. And then there's a condition where a person actually has 2 different colored eyes that's come to mind. And I think it's called heterochromia. I think that's the term, but I know the actress has it, if you've ever seen her before. But yeah, only 2%. Having green eyes seems very, very low. Well guys, that is just about it for this Whisper Facts episode on random facts about literally anything. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did enjoy it, be sure to hit the like button, leave a comment if you want, and consider subscribing to help support the channel. I really appreciate the support given by you guys as we continue moving forward into the new year. I'm really excited to see what this year brings and how far we can take this channel. But thank you for joining me for this video, and as always, rest easy, sleep well, and I hope to see you again very soon for another video